Unit 5, quadratics in factored form, 5.02, equations from tables. So let's first answer the review. This is from 5.01. Given the equation, y equals x plus 4 times x minus 2. So all we're doing is we're putting 1 in for our x, and then we're going to do 2 in for our x, and so on. So 1 plus 4 times 1 minus 2. 1 plus 4 is 5. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Those two equal negative 5 when they're multiplied. Then we're going to go and put 2 in. Do this one in red. So 2 goes in for x. Hopefully you can do the stuff in your head. 2 plus 4 is 6. 2 minus 2 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. Then we're going to do 3 in for x. So do 3 now. 3 plus 4 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. 7 times 1 is 7. And you might see a pattern developing now. In bright green, we have a 5, a 6, and a 7. So we're going to have what's next? 8. And then in yellow, negative 1 counts up to 0 and then to 1. So our next number is going to be 2. I'll fill that in with the red so it's easier to see. So 8 times 2 is 16. And going to 10, put in 10 for x. We get 10 plus 4 is 14. 10 minus 2 is 8. You can't do that in your head. Let's do I showed you in the previous assignment. So break up the 14, the one that's bigger than 10. Break it up. So 10 plus 4 equals 14. So 10 times 8, that should be easy. You just add a 0 to the 8. 4 times 8, hopefully that's a fact you have memorized. It's 32. 80 plus 32 equals 112. Okay, Model A, find all the factor pairs for 120. Okay, first thing you need to do is realize what a factor is. A factor is what makes up numbers. So let me start at 4. The factors of 4 would be 2 times 2, and we could also get 1 times 4. So these are factor pairs. 2 times 2 is a factor pair of 4. 1 times 4 is a factor pair of 4. I'm going to do this side first, and then I'll do prime factorization next. So first, 1 times 120. You always want to just count up from 1. 2. Does 2 go into 120? The answer is yes, it does. 120 is even. So 2, what is half of 120? It is 60. Then 3. Does 3 go into 120? Well, whenever you have a number that ends in 0, just take that 0 away. What is 12 over 3? That equals 4. 120 over 3 is simply 40. What about 4? Well, same method. Take away the 0. 12 over 4, that is 3. Add a 0, that becomes 30. 5 does go into 120 because it ends in a 0. If it ever ends in a 0 or 5, you know 5 goes into it. I like to break up 120 as a 120. There are 20 5s in 100, and there are 4 5s in 20. So 20 and 4 equals 24. 6. Well, if I look up here at 3, 6 is double 3. So we're going to take half of this number. Half of 40 is 20. 7. If you don't know if 7 goes into it, use your calculator. I will pull mine up right now and show you. So type in 120. Divide by 7. And we get a decimal. So it does not go in. We skip 7. Let's try 8. Same thing like 6. I come up here to 4. Yellow. So 4 is half of 8. So I'm going to take half of 30, and that means I get 15. 9. Use your calculator for 9. 120 divided by 9. Decimal does not go into it. 10 does go into it because we have a 0. So we just have 10 times 12. And we can see we've almost come all the way around. There's only one more number in here. It is 11. Let's check 11 on our calculator. 120 divided by 11. And we get a decimal. So 11 is not a factor. So we are done with our list of factor pairs. Prime factorization. A prime number is a number that can only be divided by itself and 1. So this is the list of prime numbers. You will notice they are all odd except for 1, and it's the first one that's even. It's 2. Every other number is odd. And the numbers that we're going to really focus on primarily are the first 3. 2, 3, 5, and 7. And what I mean by that is when we make a list, so we write down our number 120, and we're going to start at 2. If our number is even, which it is, it's 120, we can pull a 2 out. So 2 times 60. Then we look at our next number, 60. What can we pull out of 60? It is even, so we can pull a 2 out. 2 times 30. 30 is also even. We can pull a 2 out. 2 times 15. 15 is not even. So the next number in our prime list is 3. So we check for 3. Does 3 go into 15? It does. It's 3 times 5. And we now notice that 5 is also a prime number. So we are done. Once all of your numbers on the outside here are all prime numbers, you have done your prime factorization list. Another kind of interesting thing is if you multiply all these numbers in my green, you will get 120. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 3 is 24, and 24 times 5, as we know from over here, does equal 120.